Hi, it's Heather from Heather Likes Food, and today I am going to get you ready for Thanksgiving with some pumpkin pie turnovers. They are so easy to make and taste just like pumpkin pie, wrapped up in a flaky crust. Let's get started. For the filling, we are going to combine 1 cup of pumpkin puree, not pumpkin pie filling. There is a difference, so make sure to read the can at the grocery store carefully. We have a 1/4 cup plus 1 teaspoon sugar, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, and then we have our spices, which are a combination of cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, and ginger. I'm also going to add 2 tablespoons of milk and an egg. So I'll just give that a stir. We're basically making pumpkin pie filling. And we're gonna put it in to our turnover shells. For my turnover crust, I am using store-bought puff pastry dough, and you can find this in the freezer section in your grocery store. It's super easy to work with, as long as you follow a few little guidelines, and I'll go over those as we make these. These puff pastry sheets come 2 to a pack, and they come frozen. And so you want to let them thaw out on your countertop at room temperature until you can easily unfold them. Now you want to work quickly with puff pastry because it's made up of several thin layers of flour and fat, and you don't want those fat layers to melt. And so you barely want to handle it, and just touch it as you need to and use a sharp knife to cut it. I'm cutting each piece into 4 squares. Each square is going to be a turnover. I've beaten an egg with just a tablespoon of water, and I'm going to use this as an egg wash. It kind of acts as a glue around the edges of the turnover when I push them together. Now I'm just going to take a couple of tablespoons of the filling and put it kind of offset in the center of each pastry square. I'm going to do probably about like 2.5 tablespoons in each one. And we are just going to carefully fold one side over to the other, sealing those edges that you've put the egg wash on, and they will just kind of glue themselves together like that. And then you want to go in with a fork and just kind of crimp those edges. Keep them together. Go around every side. If a little bit of pumpkin leaked out as you were crimping and filling, that's okay, because we are going to drizzle them in a little bit of icing, and nobody will ever know the difference. And now just brush the tops of each turnover with a little bit of that egg wash. So I'm going to take these and pop them in the oven for about 20 minutes. We are going to make a little bit of cream cheese frosting to drizzle over the top of these turnovers. So I'm adding a tablespoon of cream cheese, a tablespoon of butter. I'm just going to whisk that together. Yeah, I'll do this. To that I'm going to add just a tablespoon of milk. And I'm just making a little bit. This might not seem like very much, but it'll be more than enough to drizzle. And then this is a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. There we go. We want it just thin enough to drizzle, but still thick enough to really stay on the turnover. Once the turnovers are out of the oven, you need to wait for them to cool completely. I know it's hard, but you really need to before you put the icing on, or the icing will melt and you probably won't like the results very much. So wait for them to cool, and then you can take our cream cheese icing and drizzle it right over the top. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking I'm gonna reach for one of these this Thanksgiving instead of a boring piece of pie. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see you next time.